What's up everybody? Michael here from High Def Digest, coming to you today with an unboxing video and a how-to video. We've got the brand new Apple TV 4K in the laboratory today, where we've also got a brand new screen with the silver screen material in it. We've got the KEF Q Series speakers in for review, that's coming up very soon, and the Optoma laser projector. Pardon the temporary setup, I have to return all of these things, and so I'm just trying to just a temporary setup for now. If I was installing for real, I'd have an actual shelf or a ceiling mount and so forth. And here we have the brand new Apple TV 4K. This is the 32 gigabyte version, which is good for people that just want to stream movies. If you're planning to do more gaming, you might want to get the other one so you can download games and more apps. So inside the box, we have the Apple TV itself. As you can see, it's a little thicker than the previous generations, got more horsepower. Okay, here's the back of the player. Very simple compared to previous generations and even something like a Roku Ultra. Just the Ethernet cable, HDMI port, and power port. So we've also got a revised version of the remote that looks very similar to last time, except it's got this embossed menu. And over in this section, we've got the power cord, we've got an instruction booklet, and under here, hiding, we've got a lightning cable. So, another thing you're going to notice, there's no HDMI cable inside this box, so you're going to want to make sure that you have a high-speed cable that's rated to work with 4K and HDR material if you're planning to hook this up to a 4K television so you can watch the Dolby Vision and HDR10 materials. So if you don't know what those things are, links down below where we explain Dolby Vision, HDR10, 4K. We've even got a review of the Apple TV already up on the site, so that link will be down below as well. So let's go ahead and set this thing up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect the HDMI cable to my AV receiver and one end to the Apple TV, and then I'm going to plug it in and I'm going to follow the commands. Okay, so we've got the HDMI cable plugged in. Now we're going to plug in the unit itself. Sorry for the black on black in the shade. I want to show you guys the screen as well, so I cut the light down a little bit. So here we go, we're powering up, connected to my receiver, which I've already set up with a little Apple TV section from the previous generation. And here we go. Pair up the remote. And so for that, you're going to press the menu button and the plus button at the same time. Remote is connected. Great. So now we're going to select English, using the touch screen here, which you can scroll up and down with. And tap. Now we're going to set our country or region, not in China. There we go. Okay, this is pretty intuitive, I gotta say. Next, you're gonna select using Siri. And now you're gonna set up with a device. So this is the way I recommend setting up with the device, because you'll be able to use your iPhone or iPad and it'll be much easier, it'll be much faster, it'll save you time. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now you're gonna unlock our phone, connect it to Wi-Fi, hold down Bluetooth, and so I've got the Wi-Fi on, I've got the Bluetooth, and look at that, popped right up. Set up new Apple TV. Whoop, two hands. Okay, so I just entered an authentication code, which I skipped over, so you guys can't steal my Apple TV. I know that's not how it works, but here you get the option to whether or not you've purchased something, whether you're always going to use a password, whether you can buy things for a window or never require the password. If you have little ones or folks that you don't necessarily trust, it's a good idea to use the always. If it's just you by yourself and no one's going to come in and do it, go ahead and hit up never. So we'll set, I'm going to do always just in case. This will help with, Apple's got a TV app that you can use and it'll automatically connect to all your different, FX Now and those various subscriptions, HBO Go, all those things that you've already signed up for. So I'm going to sign in. Okay, location services. Yes, see the world. Okay, and here you have an example of one of the screensavers on the TV, which is just generally beautiful aerial footage from, I've seen places local to me in cities worldwide. Very cool stuff. Whoa, screensavers. Yes, save your TV. And analytics. No thanks, Apple. Terms and conditions. We'll always have to do this. I've now read them. So here we have your main screen. This is where you're going to find all of your apps, where you can access various movie, TV, internet, music content, everything you need. So what I've gone and done, and I've customized it to a couple things, adding a few different apps. And so what you'll do here, it's very simple to add and customize. Come down to the App Store, which just looks like the same as an iPhone and everywhere else. Click on that. Go into the service. Now here you can buy apps and get free apps. So here's something like Hulu, which would require a subscription separate. But we'll show you how to install it. You just click on it real quick. Click the Get that for free. You'll have to add your password when you try to use it. Great. Head back home, and you'll see Hulu has now popped up here. If you want to move your apps, what you need to do, it's very simple. You just navigate to the app till it's larger, click and hold, it wiggles just like on the iPhone, and then you can move it around anywhere you like, and one more tap secures it, and now you're ready to go elsewhere. And what's neat about this system is that, so let's say we go in here, I'm not going to do this here, but just as an example, you can log in or start your free trial. If you're clicking log in, it'll save your email across the different apps, or like me and my wife, we have 2 different email addresses associated with different apps, so you can save the both of those. And then the great thing is about entering the password, you can use the text to speech. So X10825562, this is not my password. Anyway, but that's basically how that's done. To get to the home, now this is interesting. So this app here is the TV button. It's set up automatically to go to live TV, but I've set it to go to home by going into the settings. And so that is the remotes and devices button, and the home button can either go to the home screen or can go to the TV app. And then to back out of anything, you just hit the menu button and it goes one step back for anything. So yeah, so right now I've got it set up. I've got HBO, I've got all of my movies from iTunes, I've got that TV app, got the Vudu app, Netflix with 4K, HDR, Dolby Vision. We're all set up, so also important to keep in mind is that with the Apple TV 4K, it detects the best settings that your TV is capable, or projector. So in this case, it detected that this projector is capable of 4K, 60 frames per second with HDR10 included. So everything that you play through this, whether it's an HD source, 4K source, or something with Dolby Vision, it's going to play back, for me, with 4K and HDR10. If your television's best settings are for Dolby Vision, it's going to select those. And if you only have HD, it'll select that. But it's never swapping out of resolution, frame rates, HDR modes like your other devices will. So there's no hiccup between starting or stopping anything. And this is generally, it's a good thing because a lot of content up-res is nice, but it's also going to mess up the colors for a few things. It's really title by title basis, but the main reason why you want this particular device is to watch that native 4K content. Otherwise you can stick with an older Apple TV or a different streaming box. But it looks beautiful. I've been enjoying using it so far. Check out our review below where we talk about it. Pick one of these up yourself. It's probably the best streaming box ever made. and we'll do a comparison soon between this, the Apple TV 4K, and the Roku Ultra, because I think that'll be a nice comparison, because the Roku Ultra is now only $100, so it's $70 cheaper than the entry-level model on this, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not this is worth $70 more. I think it is. I think the Dolby Vision does that on itself, but at the same time, the Apple TV doesn't have Dolby Atmos bit streaming yet, which the Ultra does, so if you're an audio person, that might be a better pick for you. But thank you again so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers!